Hello, Marlene Schmidt from Insight Spending Planners here. Today I want to talk to you about budgets. Recently, I've heard so many money experts telling everyone you should be doing a budget. Now, you might be surprised to hear me say this, but that's not the best advice. If you've ever done a budget, you already know there's a problem with budgets, and you're probably thinking that the problem is you, not the budget. But let me tell you something that might ease your mind a bit. It wasn't you that was at fault when your budget failed, okay? We naturally accept that the experts know what they're talking about, right? We give it a try and it fails us, and so all too often we give up. And the part that really frustrates me in all of this is that because the acknowledged experts tell us that this is what we need to do, we think we must be the problem. And we don't for 1 minute think that the advice was dodgy. Okay? So in this video, I'm going to show you why budgets are useless and give you an insight into something that actually works and what you should be doing instead. Okay, so here's a budget in a typical format that most people would use. It has income at the top and then it has expenses below that. The expenses have been averaged down to the same payday cycle as the income so they can be compared. However, it's not the average amounts you need when these things happen. You need the actual amount the thing costs you. So here's a different list showing the actual amounts when they happen next and how often they happen. The figures in a budget have all been averaged. And in this particular example, as we go down, you can see that all the money is used up and the budget has been balanced. So all per pay amounts all average down so that you can compare the income with the expenses to see whether it works or not. However, it's totally useless information. It's not the averaged amounts you need when these things happen. You need the actual amounts they cost you. Not only that, you need the full amount of money when it is due. An averaged amount totally misses the fact that you might need the money next week. Timing is totally not included in a budget. In this list, you can see that timing has been introduced because it shows dates and frequencies as well as the actual amounts needed. I want to show you two families who have this exact same budget that you will see here. One will live happily ever after throughout the year with no problems at all, and the other will spend the year in financial turmoil. What makes the difference is just one simple number, the amount they have in their bills account on day one. Family A has $4,000 at the start of the year. You can see that their entire year is green. Every balance is above zero and it all works. Family B have exactly the same expenses with exactly the same budget, but they have $1,000 in their account at the start of the year. And you can see that there are many times during the year where they are tearing their hair out and frustrated because they've run out of money, especially around the middle of the year when they are in total money stress. A budget never considers timing and when you actually need the money, so it fails miserably at doing what all the money experts tell us it's going to do for us. So why are they telling us all to do a budget? I have no idea. Maybe they just don't know a better way. What you're looking at here is not a budget, but a spending plan. It factors in the timing of when you need to pay your bills and how much you need to pay at the time, rather than the averaged amount that a budget uses. Here you can see all of the transactions, the date they fall due, and the frequency they occur on. And this information is used to create the spending plan. Let me show you how much more powerful a spending plan is compared to a budget. I'll get back to Family A. The spending plan gives them targets to hit for every day of the year. so they'll be able to check on their progress throughout the year and make sure their plan is actually working. Their spending plan is like having a bank statement in advance. It lists all of their transactions, the dates they fall due, and what their target bank balance needs to be after each transaction has occurred. That's the first major advantage. Most of us have no idea how much money we should have in the bank on any given day, so we end up guessing if we can afford to buy something or not. The second major advantage is just amazing. Let's go to Family B and have a look at the same budget with a different start balance. Here, their spending plan showing what is going to happen before it happens. Now, they can see the year before it begins and they can take action to fix it. Check this out. With 7 simple changes that will barely impact on what they were hoping to do throughout the year, I will totally fix this plan and give them a successful year to enjoy rather than the nightmare they would have had. So here we go. They have a credit card, but they've been avoiding using it because it always blows up in their face when they do. However, with a spending plan, that won't happen if they stick to the plan. So I'm going to make 3 payments that they are making at the moment via electronic funds transfer, and I'm going to delay them by a month by putting them on the credit card. So change number 1. Move the car insurance from the bills account to the credit card. Change number 2, I'll move the internet connection to the credit card. And change number 3, I'll move electricity to the credit card. So all 3 are going to be paid basically a month later than they would have been, and the plan ensures that the money is available to pay out the credit card in full. Let's have a look at the plan. It's a little better, but it still has a lot of red. But we've only used up 3 of our 7 changes. Now it's obvious there's a shortfall. Even though the income and the expenses are pretty much in balance, a budget would say this should work, but the spending plan shows that it's not going to work. And there is still some work to be done on it. So John and Mary have decided to solve this problem. They need to get some extra money. $1,000 is the opening balance and it's not enough. So they've decided to take some of their possessions and sell them to bring in $350. Now that's not a great outcome, but we can add $350 to the starting balance. That's change number 4. So let's have a look at the plan. Still a lot of red, but things are starting to look a lot better. I've added the $350 to the income, but there's still an obvious shortfall that needs to be overcome. John and Mary see that they can apply for a Centrelink benefit of an extra $80 a fortnight. So I'm going to increase their income, which is currently set to $2,029 to $2,109. Let's have a look and see what that's done. All right, we've made a massive change. Things are starting to look a lot better. That's change number 5. We've increased their income. But there's still a problem. And they've decided, you know what, that camping trip that we've got scheduled for August, why don't we move it to later in the year? If we move it to October or November, that will still be okay. So I'll go to the list of transactions and move the camping trip from August to November. So let's have a look. Change number 6 has almost solved the problem, but we still have a slight hiccup here. There's a $342.90 shortfall in June. So they've had a bit of a think about it and they've asked, what else can we do? They've made 6 changes, and remember, I said we could fix it in 7. So they've got a savings plan because they don't ever want to be caught out with no cash reserves ever again. But they've decided tough times need tough decisions. So they delay the start of their savings plan by a couple of months. And now, let's have a look. Their whole year is green. In fact, on the worst day of the year, they've still got $57 as a slight buffer to get them through. and they have a healthy weekly surplus in case they've underestimated some of their bill amounts. So there you go, 7 changes, and I've turned what was going to be a disaster into a beautiful plan. They've got targets for every time something happens. They know exactly where they need to be, so that if they get behind, they can do something about it early on. So why would you do a budget when a spending plan is what you need? And if you're a small business owner, a spending plan is the best way to manage your business cash flow. Now, I'm a certified spending planner, and I'm available right now to help you create your own spending plan and say goodbye to money stress. You can book in for a free consultation with me, absolutely no obligation. We can talk about your current situation and how I might be able to help. And you can do that via my Facebook page or on my website, which is www.insightspendingplanners.com. I'd love to hear from you and help you gain complete peace of mind around money. All right, thank you so much for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. I'm Marlene Schmidt saying bye for now.